And we're back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our second segment for today, which is going to be continuing my power rankings. Of course, in the first segment, did numbers 1 to 10, and now we're going to be doing 11 to 20. But before we get into that again, I would like to ask you once again to please like and follow the show. We do get a number of questions from viewers, so ensure that your question does get read in the air. Please use the link, gsmcpodcast.net. It really does help the show, and it really does mean a lot. So thank you so much for that. And let's get back into the show for today. All right, so we'll be talking about, again, numbers 11 to 20 on my power rankings. Just did numbers 1 to 10, so I'll be continuing it here. So let's get into it. As I teased before going to break, before the first three here are going to be three teams in the NL wildcard race. I thought it was appropriate bunching them all together. And also, I think after the real top 5 or 6 teams in the American League, there is kind of a drop-off with talent-wise, so that is why I also did that as well. I think the National League right now is much, much more deeper than the American League. I really only think there's 3 or 4 teams in the American League that I think are going to make the World Series. With the NL, there's like 6 or 7. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. But starting off with this here, I'm going to be having the number 11 team, Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks rotation, once it gets healthy, I think it's going to be absolutely elite. But other than that, the offense has been really killing it right now. Corbin Carroll has started to look like the Corbin Carroll of old. Had a really rough start to the year, but of course, won Rookie of the Year last year. I think that he's coming back to his old form and is continuing to be the great Corbin Carroll that we once knew. Ketel Marte is looking like an MVP candidate right now. I mean, of course, you have the obvious top 2 of Ohtani and Freeman, but after that, I mean, Ketel Marte is making a really good case for number 3. So we'll be interested to watch that. He's been absolutely incredible. Eugenio Suarez has finally got it going. Since coming to the Diamondbacks. Offense in the outfield, other than Carroll, has been great as well, with Jake McCarthy doing really well. Josh Bell's been a fantastic addition to the lineup, replacing Christian Walker, who's out with injury. Gavin Moreno, of course, is out with injury, which is a really tough get. It's a really tough loss, but you claim Carson Kelly off waivers from the Rangers, so maybe that'll help you out with some depth, bringing him back to Arizona. So, yeah, I think this Diamondbacks team is fantastic. Added to the bullpen as well with A.J. Puck and Dylan Floro. Their starting rotation, when fully healthy, is just absolutely incredible. Eduardo Rodriguez came back, which is really going to help you out a lot. So I really like this Diamondbacks team. Our second place currently in the wild card as well. So I really like what they're doing here, and I really like the team they're building. Going from 12th here, we are going to be having the New York Mets. You can see them up right there. Yeah, I'm a Mets fan. I'm not going to hide it again. I love this Mets team. They've been absolutely incredible. I think right now they're a better team than the Diamondbacks and Padres, but they have struggled a little bit. They did lose a series to the Angels, which is never good. Lost a game to the Rockies, which they did win the series, winning 2 out of 3 the next 2 games. Absolutely destroyed them yesterday, but still losing 1 game to the Rockies, 2 to the Angels. I kind of do have to put them down a little bit. And the Padres and Diamondbacks have gone really nice series wins. Diamondbacks beating the Guardians and the Padres beating the Pirates as well. So I kind of had to penalize the Mets a little bit. I still think they're a better team, but for right now, it just makes no sense for me to be able to put the Mets over them when you look at recent performances. But yeah, this Mets team is great. This offense is absolutely killer when it's on. I mean, you have Francisco Alvarez, Pete Alonso. Jeff McNeil's done even great in the second half as well, which is surprising. Francisco Lindor is an MVP candidate. Mark Vientos, one of the biggest breakout players of this entire year. Harrison Bader's been a great signing. Tyrone Taylor's really picked it up in the past few weeks or so. Pitching rotation is still good. There are some question marks now. You don't really have a definitive ace in there because Kodai Senga did get hurt. But I still love this Mets team. I think they're absolutely fantastic. I think when everyone's fully healthy, I think they are the best team in this National League wildcard race. I did predict them before to have the 4th wildcard seed at the end of the year. We'll see if that comes true. But right now, I do have to put them at 12th and 3rd in this wildcard race. Now, you will notice I have not mentioned the Braves yet. Well, that's because they're 13th, and that is where they are here for my power rankings. Yes, out of my wildcard picture as they are in real life. This is the first time since the middle of the year in 2022 that the Braves are out of the playoff race significantly into a season, and they're playing like it. I mean, this team is playing bad. Their rotation is really struggling with all the injuries. Their offense has really not picked it up after we thought it would. Jorge Soler has not been a meaningful addition. So this Braves team is looking rough right now, and I don't know if they make the playoffs if the season ended today, to be perfectly honest with you. I think with the way the Padres, Diamondbacks, and Mets are playing, Pirates and Giants right in your tail as well, it's going to be a real uphill battle for the Braves to be able to make the playoffs right now, and I wouldn't be surprised they don't. again, I don't really know if they're a good team. I kind of think we're living off nostalgia of the old Braves teams of the of the 2020s that they'll just automatically make the playoffs, but they don't look good right now. They just really don't, and I think it's going to be a question mark for them for the rest of the year. This team is really, really struggling, and it's going to be interesting to me to see what does happen with them going into the rest of the year, and overall what is going to be happening with them. 16th, I skipped ahead a few spots. Geez, sorry. 14th, I'm going to be having our first AL team in a little while, the Seattle Mariners. I think this Mariners team is great. It's just about putting it all together. I mean, I really thought this offense would just go off fully once they got Arozarena and Justin Turner fully mixed in to this lineup, but they've still done good, just not as great. The Astros have really, done much better than them right now, and that's why I have the Mariners here at 14. This pitching staff is absolutely elite, of course. I mean, Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, and George Kirby as your top three is just absolutely nasty. So I love this Mariners team. It's just their offense got to start clicking, and they got to start playing better. They got a big series coming up, and against another great team who's kind of in the same area as you with the New York Mets, of course, in Seattle. 3-game series Sunday and Sunday Night Baseball as well. So you'll get a lot of eyes on you also. So it's going to be really interesting to see what is going to happen in that series. Big for both these teams. I mean, if you want to make the playoffs, you got to beat playoff caliber teams, other playoff hopeful teams, kind of in the same tier as yourself. So big series for both the Mets and the Mariners, and it's going to be really, really fun and interesting to see what is going to happen with these two teams. Both are fighting for the playoffs, and it's very important. 15 here, I'm going to be having the Boston Red Sox. This Red Sox team is absolutely fantastic, which is surprising. They have a lot of good pitchers, a lot of good position players, especially Rafael Devers, who's done absolutely incredible this year. I like the addition you made at the deadline as well, getting Quinn Priester and James Paxton to shore up that bullpen depth. So, not bullpen, rotation depth, pitching depth overall is what I should say. And I like this Red Sox team a lot. I just kind of think they're on the outside looking in this AL wildcard picture right now, just because there's a lot of other better teams. Nothing about them, but it's kind of it. I think right now they're very, very middle of the pack, which is why I have them literally middle of the pack, 15. So, I think just overall they got to start clicking a little bit more, and I just think that a lot of teams just simply have more talent than they do, which is kind of unfortunate. But re-sign some people in the offseason, re-sign Tyler O'Neill, get some more talent, maybe make a run at one of those big pitchers, Blake Snell, Corbin Burns, or Max Fried, and try to go at it next year. 16, I'm going to be having another NL wildcard hopeful, the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals were the first or second wildcard seed for a good amount of time. They've kind of really fallen off. Had some bad bullpen games where they blew it against the Cubs. Offense hasn't been hitting as well. Pitching's kind of lacked a little bit, but they're still a really talented team. Sonny Gray has done not great these past few weeks actually, which is pretty surprising, but he's still great. I still love the Eric Fetty addition. Tommy Pham's been an absolute killer with this lineup. So the Cardinals have the talent. They have all of it there. They just need to click and need to come together as a team and need to be better. That's kind of it for me and kind of what I'm watching with this Cardinals team. 17, I'm going to be having the San Francisco Giants. Giants have a fantastic rotation. Maybe the best in baseball. Their GM thinks so. I think it's up there, but I think some other teams are better, including the Royals, but that's beside the point. They have a great rotation. 5 great pitchers in that rotation. The offense is the problem. They have some good pieces here. Elliot Ramos has done great. I did a segment on Tyler Fitzgerald and how great he's done since the All-Star break. Patrick Bailey is, of course, great. Elliot Ramos is great. But they need a lot of other contributions, and I just don't know if that's going to happen. Mark Cannon just had a 4-hit game with you guys, so maybe he'll help out a lot, but still, I think you just need to have a better offense, and I just don't know if that's going to happen this year. Keep that rotation and go at it next year with a better offense, and you'll do a lot more, but for right now, I think the offense is a little mediocre. 18, I have the Pittsburgh Pirates. I love this Pittsburgh Pirates team. Just the problem is, they don't want it. Whenever they have the moment to come up, they come up short. Getting swept in Pittsburgh against another wild card hopeful team in the Padres was really, really rough. Not even winning one game was bad. Back of the bullpen is a mess right now with Colin Holderman not really playing up to the standards that you would like him to. So that is obviously very unfortunate. Aroldis Chapman, while good, is very up and down. So back of the bullpen is a problem. Offense is a problem. Pitching staff is obviously great with the rotation with Paul Skeens, Jerry Jones, and Mitch Keller. But I think there's a lot of other things that need to be fixed on this team if you do want to actually make the playoffs. 19, I have the Rays. Even after selling off everyone, they've still managed to be a pretty competitive team. They still have a lot of great players on your team, of course, including Yandy Diaz. You have Brandon Lau. You're going to get significant opportunities for Curtis Mead and Junior Camarino coming up soon. So still a really talented Rays team, getting a lot of pitchers back. Just got Drew Rasmussen back, which should really, really help out. So Rays team is still good, even though they sold off a lot of people, and I do have them here at 19. 20, I have the Rangers. The Rangers are not making the playoffs. They just losing that 3-game series in Texas, of course in Texas, in Arlington, I should say, to the Astros is really rough, and they're now significantly out of the division, significantly out of the wild card. I think it's really going to be an uphill battle for them to make the playoffs. Crazier things have happened, yes, but I think it's kind of time to maybe give up a little bit on the season, accept your fate, and go towards next year with a fully healthy Jacob deGrom, fully healthy Tyler Mahle, and a better team overall. So I'll be interested to see what does happen there. But yeah, I do have the Rangers at 20 here. So recapping numbers 11 to 20 in my power rankings, I had number 11, Arizona Diamondbacks, number 12, New York Mets, number 13, Atlanta Braves, number 14, Seattle Mariners, number 15, Boston Red Sox, number 16, St. Louis Cardinals, number 17, San Francisco Giants, number 18, Pittsburgh Pirates, number 19, Tampa Bay Rays, and number 20, Texas Rangers. So yeah, that is my second segment here, going over my second portion of my power rankings here, numbers 11 to 20. Moving into our third segment here, which is going to finish off the power rankings doing numbers 21 to 30. So yeah, maybe a little less interesting, but still a lot of noteworthy teams and interesting teams to talk about here. So we'll be doing that, and we'll see you after the break. So thanks, and bye.
Looking for your